Okay, so for anybody who was wondering, I have now beat this game. Um, and so now I'm on New Game Plus, which is Journey 2 and um level 181 at the moment. And so I beat the game with just the standard Blasphemous Blade build. I've changed equipment since then, but basically it's Blasphemous Blade with the Orchard Seal, and I used this armor set, and I had the um those two plus this one, and I had the Holy Damage Negation talisman as well, Drake, and this just had fire and stamina, and I had Mimic Tier 7. That was it. And on the just use this skill over and over. This Taker Explains, both on Radagon and on the Elden Beast itself. And then when I went out, eventually I just was just using regular melee attacks with the Blasphemous Blade on the Elden Beast and finished it off that way. The Mimic Tier really helped out a lot. So anyway, so just thoughts on the game. So I spent like I think it says like 180 hours on this save file. So that's definitely the longest amount of time I spent on a game to beat it. Um, Witcher 3, it was over 100. I might be able to look that up, how much I spent on that. But I'm pretty sure that would be second. Um, and it's definitely the challenge. I think is the best part about it is it's the most challenging game I've ever played. Witcher 3, I probably spent over 150, 160 hours. That's counting all the DLC though, to beat that game. So this is the base game of, it took me like 180 hours to beat the base game of the Elden Ring. And a lot of it was side stuff. And also, but another aspect of it is this is my first Souls type game, and I had to end up, well, there's a lot of stuff I just should have looked up earlier, and I just took me a while to learn how to like actually how to kind of download a boss and figure out what I'm supposed to do, like how to understudy their attacks and figure out how to do what to do and against each attack and all that stuff. So I think where I'm going, I think I should be able to clear these catacombs here. Um, let's just take that route. Nah, maybe I'll just head for this castle. Because I just kind of want to see how I'm doing. Because so far, it hasn't been challenging. This New Game Plus, it's been surprisingly unchallenging. Haven't died yet. No, I guess, well, I'll probably just jinxed myself. Um, so in the beginning, I started out with, I was just trying to figure out how do I, raise the hero class, but to figure out, okay, what's the most painless way to beat this game? And so I started out, when I got stuck on Morgit, whatever this guy's name is, I looked up and they said use these bleed builds, so I got this split, so I started out with Bloodhound, bang, and that's the one that's actually a level 10. Um, and that got me to, through Stormvale, through here, Liurnia, got me through Raya Lucaria, Renala, um, and through this area here. And I switched to Stone Sword, the stone sword, heavy stone sword, the gut sword through here. I just felt like, oh, I'm a hero. I want to use some big strength, tanky strength build. So I used the great sword through there and through mountaintops and well before that through here and Godfrey. First battle against Godfrey. And this was all with stone sword. And then I got stuck on Horalux and Horaloo, whatever. And then I switched to the Blasphemous Blade. So obviously to get the Blasphemous Blade I had to... Before that I was using the stone sword and all that to get through there. No, actually the blood flame, I think, the blood flame blade. To actually up to through Rykard and whatnot. And then the Blasphemous Blade is what I used to finally finish off the game. So let me just activate this. And it kind of feels weird getting some of these things because it's like, okay, now I know that you can actually buy some of this, like these smithing stone stuff, and you can buy stone sword keys, obviously, but it's only 3,000. And plus, yeah, obviously they have limits, the merchants do, so. Again, where I need to get back through here. The platforming is funky. I picked that up. I don't know if the other Souls games have that platforming kind of stuff, where it's like the rooftop stuff and like the going up and down mountains and whatnot. Especially the going down mountains thing with like all these little steps and these little like spouts of air and stuff to get you up and down. To get you up and also to kind of cushion your falls and stuff. Whoa. Okay. Let me get out of here. Let me activate this. That's probably unnecessary. I just needed to get out of the way of this cannon coming at me. Continue! Oh my goodness. Okay. I know once you get like behind him or whatever, then it's over. Okay, so I wasn't really being smart there, but whatever. There is so the thing about this game, and I know I'll compare it to God of War Ragnarok, and so I really like that game a lot. Is I mean, and because it came out in the same year, and because this game won Game of the Year in that year, God of War Ragnarok is kind of an opposite of this game. Okay, I think we're ready. Okay, I'll just go ahead and play this cutscene because I haven't seen it in forever.
In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
That is a crazy jump. Okay. I guess I'm just trying to get my buffs in here. I'm getting hit in the process. Okay, so couple of things. I feel like this game is like the total opposite. Wow, one hit almost killed him. Okay, so that's just silly. So I was kind of over leveled, I guess, so to speak, when I beat the game.
Of the night, the hands of the fell omen shall brook thee no quarter.
Right. Okay. So I guess you get the great runes all over and stuff. But yeah, don't a little bit of the stuff is I did post. So the strength was only like 20 26 before 27 before or when I beat the game, and I think the faith was 60. So now I'm gonna getting it up to I'm just gonna buffing that up to um a little bit more as well. And then I think I'm just gonna try to diversify so that I can get some of my old builds back. So I'm getting those strength and dexterity numbers are gonna come up eventually. Um, but yeah, this is kind of like the opposite of complete opposite of God of War Ragnarok in that God of War Ragnarok was linear and it had great storytelling, dialogue, emotional scenes, powerful scenes, well acted, and all that, and kinds of
Forgive me. I've been testing you to see whether or not grace truly does guide you,
speaking of
and
voice acting.
whether you are fit to face the challenge that entails. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hall, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace.
Yeah, okay.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Speaking of voice acting, yeah, her voice acting is so weird. Like she's like sounds like she's in a trance or something. Um, so then uh I guess um yeah, the God of War Ragnarok had a lot of powerful scenes and things like that, really as far as emotional powerful moments and stuff. This game doesn't really have that so much, and it's like yeah, I know it's got again kind of a mute protagonist like like in Black Myth Wukong and stuff like that. Basically, a protagonist that doesn't talk, and then he's fighting these guys who are like taunting him, and he's just saying nothing back. So basically, it's like everybody looks dumb. Um, so he or she, whoever the protagonist doesn't say anything and just takes the trash talk. And the person doing the trash talking is just talking to a wall. So to me, I just like the protagonist to talk because I just feel like it's more engaging. Like, I want to care about the character. But again, the challenge is the fun part. Oh, but combat wise, I would say that I prefer the combat in God of War Ragnarok to this combat as far as it's because it's more intense. It just kind of feels more dynamic and more kind of exhilarating and such. This combat is more of a challenge, clearly. It's frustrating and so forth, but a lot of it is like you have to like, learn patterns and figure out what to do in different situations and whatnot.
Oh, this is a rare occasion.
So this guy you end
I
up
can't
fighting in the
remember the
end.
last time a new tarnished made their way to the round table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard.
It was one twist of the game, I guess. There's not a lot of twists, but that guy ends up being an enemy.
Oh, I see you've just arrived. Welcome to the Round Table Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the two fingers, and explore the secrets of the Golden Order. So that one day, if a tarnished of the Round Table Hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form, righting rule over men. By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace.
Sure.
You do? Wonderful news. Most tarnished are blind to it these days. You are something of a rare
Yeah,
breed.
but you have
Well,
covered your eyes.
What do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the two fingers?
Origin Heal, I have that. I'll figure these things out later.
May the Golden Order...
Yeah. Okay, so this, though the spirit tuning girl, also her acting is really weird. Like she sounds like she's like in a trance or something, like lifeless. But the Master Hugh guy, he's good. If a voice act, his
Hello.
acting is good.
You must be new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The honor of one's house holds little import in these lands. By the way, have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels? She's my
No,
servant,
I skipped her.
but fickle as the wind. Take
If
your
that was
eyes
the
off her for
one
but a moment
before
and she's
Mark.
good as gone. If you find her, please be sure to tell me.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, before Godric the Grafted. Yeah, so I'll see her later. Let's see it. Does this guy have a new
Your
thing?
new face.
Yeah.
No matter. It's all the same.
Kind of weird. He kind of
Out your arms. Let's get smithing.
later on in the end of the game, he just kind of says the exact same things over and over. The let's get smithing because he's already kind of lost his mind. So yeah, I guess this Malekith Black Blade and I think the Grafted Dragon 2 I got from a remembrance. Yeah, those I need to explore those because apparently those are better than the other option. And the Kyrian Regal Scepter as well. Oh yeah, I don't have any Sombers. There's a lot of things I guess I should have done before initiating New Game Plus, at least according to the web, but whatever, I don't really care. So yeah, I think is this the greatest game I've ever played? No. I do appreciate that Eastern games are different. Japanese game. In this case, love Japan, Japanese culture, and so forth. But it's really about like a gameplay experience, and the story's way takes a big backseat as far as it's pretty much irrelevant. Okay, so I'm not gonna go with that debuff or whatever this time around because I got it last time in my first playthrough. Should have got? Is it valid to say that it should have got Game of the Year over God of War Ragnarok? It's valid. I think Ragnarok to me is more emotionally like kind of more left more of an emotional impact on me. But that's not really what the criteria is. I mean, as far as like the amount of hours I put in like over about 100 hours on God of War Ragnarok, but I'm doing completionist type stuff. And so I put in more hours in this game in a shorter amount of time. Not a shorter amount of time. I bought this game before that one, but yeah, pretty much twice the hours. So do you get your money's worth? Yeah. Can anybody beat this game? I think so. I've been really playing really badly, but especially you'd have to look up stuff online. But I think pretty much any gamer can beat this game. It's worth your time. I mean, it's worth your money. The challenge, you do feel really good when you beat these bosses, especially if the boss has been killing you a million times and then you finally beat them, then it does feel good. See, there's that. But leading up to that, there's a lot of frustration, and there can be a lot of frustration if there's a boss you're really stuck on. That's pretty much it. The exploration stuff, kind of hit or miss because it's kind of a drag. I said in a previous video, kind of more of a linear game type of guy. than an open world guy from the standpoint of, yeah, I could go around and just be doing random stuff for hours and hours, but I kind of am more interested in stories. You do have the converse, the counter argument to that is for a linear game, once you beat it, then kind of going through it again is kind of doing the exact same stuff again, exact same cutscenes and whatnot. Whereas an open world game, you could put in just you could be going to new places every time for hours and hours. So there's that advantage. But like the looting and everything, like to me, I'd say it's more of an RPG and all that than Ragnarok, for example. It's really I consider it a hardcore RPG from the standpoint of the management that you have to do, all the decisions you have to make. As far as optimizing and customizing your build and everything like that. Um, Diablo 3 is a game where I've spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, way more hours than 200, maybe like 1,000 something. Um, and that for me is the role-playing game that's consumed most of my time, way more than any other role-playing game. Um, but as far as an RPG where you can kind of customize and if you're into the whole thing about making builds and trying out builds and playtesting and whatnot, um, that's a really cool aspect of this game. But I think I'm gonna move on. So I think I'm going to go through Bloodborne. I've put in a couple hours into that game, but that's it. And that's the only other Souls game I've played. Besides Lies of P, I've also put in like a couple hours of that in on that. But that's it. And but I'm gonna check out Bloodborne. I'm a kind of a PlayStation person. I have PS1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Um, since the 90s, um, late 90s and 2000. And so that's just kind of where my kind of bias is. Um, so Bloodborne being an exclusive to that console series, I'm gonna check out that game. I've already got it. And I've already purchased the Dark Souls trilogy, so I'm gonna check that out. I've heard people say that in some ways Dark Souls are better than this game because being a little bit more linear, this it gives an advantage, and maybe the bosses are better and things like that. So I'll be checking that out eventually down the road. So yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 game as far as quality and the amount of content and details and whatnot. It's not going to make you cry or give you some emotional moment as far as the characters go. It might make you cry out of frustration or whatever. It's basically a challenge for a gamer, and that I respect. Um, and it's really deep and complex. If you're into that, I don't think it's the most exhilarating rush of when you're doing the combat and whatnot. Again, I think Ragnarok has the edge there. As far as just kind of something exciting and like just kind of adrenaline pumping and whatnot. But yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, no objections to it winning game of the year. There was also another issue with Ragnarok that's kind of a tangential thing, but something about it that I didn't like. So um, yeah, I'm glad I played it. It's definitely worth the money. Um, like I said, anybody can beat it, I think, pretty much. And that is it. So those are my thoughts. Thanks.